Hello, how are you? Amanda, SEINT artist. We're going to talk about light coverage with correcting because you can have both. I've got stuff and I like to cover it, but with my maturing skin, fuller coverage sometimes accentuates my texture. So we're going to do our makeup. I'm going to use the shape brush, the silver shape brush, because I've been talking about it a lot because SEINT did come out with gold brushes and with that, a new shape to the shape brush. And I don't love it because we already have two brushes very similar to it. So I like it. I don't love it because this domey end right here is the big difference. And this is what's great about blending and applying the makeup in a light way while giving you the coverage that you want. So we're going to go into this. I've got the very simplest basics. For me, the basics are really your first three colors, your main highlight, your brightening highlight, and your contour, and being purposeful with those colors. So when you get a color match from me, send me a makeup-free selfie in front of a window, just a couple steps back. And I will take a look at all of your stuff, all of your skin tones, undertones, light tones, dark tones. I'm going to look at all of it, and I'm going to be purposeful with my recommendations because I want something that's going to give you coverage but not heaviness. I want you to feel light and fresh in your makeup, and SEINT gives you that because it's not the makeup that determines your coverage, it's the brush you use. I'm going to start with my balm. I love this stuff. If you have dryness on your face, your lips are chapped, you have eczema, psoriasis, a healing breakout that is dry, add a little bit of balm to it. My son always gets dry around his nose, and you could take this balm and put that on. I also get texture under my eyes with my fine lines, so I add my balm right here. And using the balm as a way to prep is super helpful. I'm also going to go into my favorite lip and cheek color, Frenchie, for coverage. This is also going to work with my stuff when I'm applying my nice bright blush because you can have everything. You can have your cake and you can eat it too, but you're not going to look like a birthday cake because we're going to use this brush, which is going to give us that light coverage that we love. All right, I'm going to go in. I'm going to start with my contour because my contour is purposeful. This is the color Stone. It's a cool toned contour with a touch of warmth, and this is going to work with hyperpigmentation. The coolness is going to work with redness. I'm going to use this nice fluffy end, and I'm going to dig in to my contour, and I'm going to go right over my redness here, and I'm going to stipple over it, and we are going to cool this down, and then I'm going to bring this up onto my hyperpigmentation here, and then I bring it up. My hyperpigmentation is growing up the side of my face like ivy. Because stone, olive, ash have a bit of warmth to them, you could almost use this as an underpainting for warmth. So it's corrected, it is dark, I'm not gonna lie, but we are gonna be using our main highlight over this. So don't think too much about this. I want you to trust the process. And I want you to judge your makeup at the end, not here, because this is not the end. This is not the final finish. This isn't even close. And so we're gonna add this on. I'm just going over that redness, and I'm more turning it brown. I typically use Aspen, which mutes it. Using my contour is not gonna mute. This is gonna turn it brown. And then I'm gonna go around my hyperpigmentation, and then again, I'm gonna go up and over. My left side is worse than my left side is worse than my right, and I'm just going to go up and around just like that. We're going to add it on, and this is how I've color corrected. Now you can see the stuff, you can see the brown, and this is just giving me something dense in those areas. What it's really doing is it's putting a little bit of a darker tone for coverage, but it's so light you can still see the problems, but because it's dense, it's going to hold my makeup on for that coverage that I like. All right, now I'm going to go into my main highlight color, which is Amber. We're just going to, again, stamp in. Don't sweep through. You don't want too much. We're going to go around the scarring. We're going to go down here on the base of the face, and then we're going to bring it to the chin. My chin is a heavy texture area, and my lips, and so I swirl around my mouth so I can have lighter coverage, but I still get my application. Over my scarring, I stipple because I want it a little fuller, and I'm also having it go on top of that dense contour. I'm gonna bring it down here on my jawline for balance. I'm gonna bring it down my neck. My neck is always lighter than my face, so I bring my main highlight down, just like that. So we get this nice start, but we get this nice balanced finish, which is really nice. So again, going into that main highlight, I always like to start down here where I have the least amount of texture, bring it up onto my scarring, and then I'm swirling into my nose crease and around my mouth. And then right in this area here, and we just work it and move it. until we're happy. I only need my main highlight down here. It's really nice to not have to cover my whole face in a foundation. I get to piece this together, and because they're all creams, they work together seamlessly. All right, I've got this on. I'm just blending it out, getting that coverage. If you still see a couple of your things, your stuff shining through, don't forget, we're adding contour and we're adding blush and we're adding brightness. So again, don't judge this here. We judge this at the end. And so bringing this up over, just making myself happy, bringing it down my neck over here. Boom, just like that. All right, the next color I'm gonna go into, I'm gonna switch it to this smaller end, and I'm gonna go into White Peach, which is my brightening highlight. And I'm gonna go right here in the middle of my forehead. Your brightening highlight should be a couple shades lighter than your skin tone, because this is going to give the illusion of reflecting light, but it's also giving you coverage. I always put a touch on my Cupid's bow and on my chin, and then whatever's left, I can just sweep down the bridge of my nose. So lightness is gonna pull out, whereas darkness and contouring will pull in. So by adding my brightening on my nose, it almost makes it bigger, but I like to do this a little bit before my contouring, and I'm just bringing that brightness up and over and balancing and brightening all at the same time. Did my hair straight today, so it's everywhere. All right, next I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna start my contouring. I'm gonna use this nice big, and I pinch it and I bring it back and forth just like this, so it looks like that. I love this brush because it's easily pliable into making it slim, but also making it fat. So we're gonna keep it slim, and I'm gonna go right here on either side of my forehead, bridge it together across the top, and then I'm just going to build it out and down towards my outer brow. And then it's gonna work with that brightening highlight. I'm gonna add a little more, and you just build this up, and it's a nice light coverage. Your skin shines through, and it just, what it does is they come together and it creates balance and coverage. And there's something else that I'm not thinking of. Dimension, because we're not a one-dimensional face. So we shouldn't have to apply our makeup to make it one-dimensional flat. Your skin just loses its life when you do that. So we're just taking that contour, bringing it around. I build mine up just a little because I want to be able to tell the difference. But you want it to look nice and natural, and using a light coverage brush is going to give you that ability to build, and you can have fuller coverage where you need it and much lighter coverage where you don't. All right, I'm gonna pinch it again, and we are just gonna go right here on either side of our nose. It doesn't have to be perfect. This can easily be put all over your nose and fixed. And I love the way that the makeup works together. You have so much more coverage or control of your coverage and your placement with creams than mixing liquids and concealer consistencies and powders. Whereas powders can sometimes grab and stick to an area, and then it's really hard to blend it out and even it out. So I've just put that contour pretty much all over my nose. I'm gonna take that smaller end, I'm gonna go into that brightening highlight, and I'm just gonna fix where my whole nose is brown by just adding a little lightness right down the bridge. That easy, it's that easy. All right, grabbing that contour, and I am gonna go on my cheekbone, not just, I always talk about going just below the cheekbone, above the natural shadow. We're gonna put this on the cheekbone, and then I'm gonna blend it into that shadowy area, just above the shadow, and then up the temple. I'm gonna smile and bring it down, and do the same thing on the other side. This gives you so much more control. So on the cheekbone, and then tilting your brush. It's really same place, but we're tilting the brush now and hitting that base above the shadow of the cheekbone. I always smile because as we mature, we lose volume in our cheeks. So when you smile, you can see exactly where that is, so you can kind of stay within the paint by numbers area. And so we're putting that on, bringing it up, and it's as you start putting this on, you start seeing things liven up and come to life, and it's so lovely. And it's light. My skin still looks like my skin. I'm accentuating the things. I love good cheekbones, and I'm losing them every month, it feels like. And so keeping my makeup on like this helps me keep that shape that I love so much. All right, we're gonna go in, and we are going to go into that light color, White Peach, with that small end, and I put that corrector on. I'm gonna go just underneath the troughs here, and then I'm gonna pinch it, and I'm gonna go right up here on either side. And we are gonna let this fluffy end play with the orbital bone, and then slowly working it up and into that soft tissue area. It's the same method I do with all of my under eye correcting with the blend brush. This one's just a bit fluffier and longer, so I just really focus it on my orbital bone because it's so fluffy, it'll hit that soft tissue without over applying it. All right, so we've put that on, and now my daughter finished her shower, so we're running out of time. I'm gonna go into that favorite Frenchie. I'm gonna put that over my scarring here. I like my blush to show, and using Frenchie on all of my scarring lets me use the colors I want and not show the stuff I don't. The scarring, the acne scarring. I never used to take care of my skin. I'm paying for it now, so there's a few extra steps that I have to take, and those few extra steps are what make me feel good in my skin again. I'm gonna use my finger on this because I don't want to put too much on my brush. We're gonna go right up here. This is baby watermelon, pink grapefruit, and pink lemonade are very similar, and I like a good pink in the spring. And we're just gonna press these together, smiling always, because we've got to see where those apples are when we start getting a little bit older. And I'm just bringing that up, and I like to angle mine up to give myself some lift. And it's just, look at how it's all come together. Trust the process, because you kept seeing the things poking through, but now that I've put it on like normal, light coverage, it's all covered. So never judge it at the beginning or the middle. We wait till we're done. So I have oily skin. I'm gonna take Charlotte Tilbury here, and I'm gonna spray my face, keep it nice and damp. I'm gonna take that fluffy end. I'm gonna go into my second layer where I have a powder. This is Vanilla Dust. Everything's in this palette. I'm putting it on. I always start at my temple and I come down, and then I work it in as my brush empties, because powder's always going to change the texture of a makeup, whether it's cream or liquid. It will always create some kind of texture. So if I were to take that powder and put it right here where my pores or my soft tissue under my eyes are, it will look crepey, it will accentuate my pores, and I want to camouflage those. They're there. I can't get rid of them, but I don't need to accentuate them, and that's the difference. I can't get rid of them. We can't take our skin texture away. Our skin is a texture, but we can make it look nice and not accentuate things. So my skin still looks like my skin, but I can jump to greasy quickly because of my oily skin. I keep a Vanilla Dust with me at all times, because with oily skin, it's makeup, not magic. You've got to touch it up. That's just the nature of the beast, and you just accept the things you accept, okay? All right, so I'm working this up and over and then bringing it in when I feel like it's empty. All right, let's do a little lippy. I'm gonna take this small end and pinch it, and I'm gonna grab some of my contour, and I'm just gonna go under my lip here and over my lip. I'm outer lining, but not defined. It just gives a little touch of a shadow. I'm gonna take my favorite lip brush. This is the Multitasker brush. I'm gonna grab my contour, and again, I'm using Stone, and we're gonna line our lips with this brown color. And we're just gonna get it. We don't need to outer line because we did that with the shadow. And so that's gonna make our lips look fuller, not the lip liner. The lip liner isn't gonna make your lips look bigger. It's gonna look like your lipstick went off your lips. And so adding that shadow instead is really helpful. You can even go one farther and use your brightening highlight to accentuate a few things. So we could take, say, a little bit of contour, and we could go right here, add a little shadow here, and a little shadow over the lip. We could take our pinky again, go into our brightening highlight, hit that high point, and we can go right out here, and we can create a contrast that's going to help our lips look fuller. It's so pretty. It's very natural, very lovely, because again, with our volume in our cheeks going down as we get older, so do our lips. And so playing with those lips to give them that nice natural fullness is so nice. All right, going into the big end of the Multitasker, I'm going to go into my cheek color, and I'm going to fill it in. You can grab a little bit of Frenchie and get that top lip, and they will work together. Rub them together, push them around, grab some balm because they are drying, and it just makes it nice and hydrating and so lovely. And that is light coverage. I talk a lot, but you could do your face in 10 minutes using just the very basics, and you could still have all the coverage you want with a light amount of makeup and have that nice, natural, even tone. And all you need to do is switch out the brush. Instead of using something that's more full, like the blush and bronzer, downgrade it and get the shape brush, the silver shape brush. Click the link in my description. There's a direct link to the silver shape brush, and just get it while you can. It's 25% off right now. The link will be there until it's sold out, because once it sells out, they are not restocking the silver shape brush. We're trying, but they are not going to be restocking it. And then after that, you're basically getting a blend brush with a long end. This is what you'll have. So get that silver shape brush while you can, and that is how you can cover your stuff and still have light coverage makeup. It's not the makeup, it's the brush. Have a great day.